welcome to the Marley Bird YouTube channel, brought to you by Red Heart Yarns. This is a very anticipated and requested video. I apologize. When I did the first video showing how to do the body of the shawl, I really did think that the final 2 rows wouldn't be that difficult, but after many of you reached out asking me to do videos for those final 2 rows, I decided it was time to sit down and do that just for you so you can finish your shawl. Without further ado, go ahead, grab some yarn and needles. I'm going to show you how to do the final 2 rows of the simple crescent shawl. If you don't know what shawl I'm talking about, I'll put a link to it in the video description box down there below. And if this video has helped you, please smash that like button. All right, let's jump in. I will work up this example on a simple little garter stitch swatch. That way you know how to do these stitches. And I'm beginning after you have reached 285 stitches on your crescent shawl. The next row says that we are going to knit 3 stitches. So let's go ahead and knit 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. And now we have to do the knit, yarn over, knit. So I'm going to go in and knit, yarn over my needle, and knit again. Okay? Now we have a star or an asterisk, and it says to knit 2 together and then do 2 yarn overs. So these 2 stitches right here, we will knit those 2 together. And then we will do 2 yarn overs. So yarn over once, yarn over twice. So I have 2 yarn overs on my right hand needle. Then I repeat that. That's what the asterisk means. It means you're going to repeat everything from the start of the asterisk until it tells us not to do that. So I did knit 2 together, yarn over once, yarn over twice. Knit 2 together, if I can get this in here. Yarn over once, yarn over twice. I'm going to hold my yarn in my other hand, so those of you who are continental knitters can see how this is done as well. You will knit 2 together, yarn over once, yarn over twice. You'll do this down to the last 5 stitches. So this will be my last knit 2 together, and I want to make sure I finish with my yarn over once, yarn over twice. And now at the last 5 stitches, I will knit 1, and then I will do my knit, yarn over, and knit again. And then I finish off with a knit 3, 2, 3. And I think this next row is the one that's really been throwing you guys off because you aren't exactly what to do. You aren't exactly sure what to do with all those yarn overs. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. But I know that sometimes it's just easier to see how it's done. So here we go. You ready? With this row, we start off with a knit 3. So we knit 1, 2, 3. Now the instructions want us to knit to the last 3 stitches, but it only wants us to knit into one of those yarn overs that we did when we did the 2 yarn overs. The other yarn over, we're simply going to let fall off our needle. What this will do is it will create a larger yarn over hole than we have been creating throughout the pattern. Let me show you how this is done. The first thing you want to do is recognize where those 2 yarn overs are. And this right here, this is not where one of them is. This is actually the middle of our knit 1, yarn over, knit 1 from the last row. So we will go ahead and just knit these stitches, okay? Now I can see right here, here's a knit stitch, but see those 2 wraps right there around my left-hand needle? Those are my 2 yarn overs. So here's what we'll do. We'll knit into the knit stitch. I'm going to knit into the next yarn over, and then this one I'm going to let fall off my needle. Now I'll knit the next stitch, knit the next yarn over, let that one fall off my needle. Knit the next stitch, knit the next yarn over, let that one fall off my needle. Knit the next stitch, knit the next yarn over, let that one fall off my needle. And put my yarn in my other hand. Knit the next stitch, knit the next yarn over, let that one fall off my needle. Now, I know the pattern says to knit to the last 3 stitches, which is what we want to do, but it might get a little bit confusing when you run into that knit one, yarn over, knit one all in the same stitch at the other end. Just remember, you're only going to knit into those stitches. You're no longer dropping one because there's no longer 2 yarn overs side by side. So when you get to that knit one, yarn over, knit one, all into that stitch that we started off in the previous row, you will simply knit those stitches, okay? So we're gonna knit those. And now we're to our last 3 stitches that the pattern has us get to. We wanna yarn over our needle and then knit those last 3 stitches. Once you've finished that eyelet row, you'll go back and repeat rows 4 and 5 from the body of the shawl, and then you'll bind off using that loose bind off as written in the pattern. But let's take a look at what the eyelet row looks like, because this is what you guys came here for. As you look down here, you can see the eyelets that we've created are really large. And the reason they're large like that is because we dropped that second yarn over when we did the double yarn over from the previous row. That is as easy as it gets for making larger yarn over holes. This is a great way that designers will use to create really great dramatic looks. They will do more than one yarn over in a pattern and then have you drop, they'll have you only work into one of them and then drop the other yarn overs to give a really nice big look. And there you have it. Hopefully this video has helped you and you'll be able to move on past the eyelet row of your simple crescent shawl, finish it up and wear it tonight. If this video has helped you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you need the pattern again, I have put a link in the video description box right down there below. I'm Marley Bird, proud spokesperson for Red Heart Yarns. Everything you need to know about knitting or crochet can be found right here on the Marley Bird YouTube channel. Learn with Marley Bird. Visit youtube.com/Marley Bird.